The others. The voices. They've gone.
I'm still here.
It's so quiet. So dark.
It's okay. Listen to your own breath. Feel it rise and fall. Good. Be aware of everything you hear and feel. Let your senses guide you.
I can't go on. Dillian?
Find a way. I'm not leaving you here.
I think I'm somewhere else now. But the breeze has gone.
Use all of your senses. Let the world speak to you. What do you hear?
I hear water.
Go to it.
I've reached the water.
Good. That's your way out. Follow it upstream.
I'm so sorry. I thought I left this all behind.
Don't be sorry. It's not your fault.
He was right. It's inside of me. It won't let me go.
Senua. My father. He taught me that the hardest battles are fought in the mind, not the soul. I'm no coward. He proved that to me in the warrior trials. This is just another battle. You can beat it.
This isn't your battle. You don't have to help me.
I want to. Besides, you are going to be a great warrior one day. We need people like you.
Okay. I'll do my best. I know what you're thinking. He's not really here. Seems there's no escaping the past in this place. And so she's forced to relive it. To what end? There is a house. I don't know what's inside.
Don't be afraid.
There's something in here.
Do you see it?
No.
Then it cannot see you. Quietly move past it, one step at a time.
It's not following me.
Leave it behind and keep moving forwards.
think I'm in a house. It stinks of death.
The darkness is testing you, but you are in control.
A well. There's a well.
Don't turn back. You're getting close.
Delia. Help me.
Come to this.
Delia. Is that you? I can see a light.
Yes, I can see you too.
She could spend hours, days even, trapped within herself, in the dark.
You see me?
Yes.
Your eyes were open, but you were gone.
And when it finally let her go, she could be anywhere, with no memory of how she got there.
When it comes for me, I have no power over it.
But here, for the first time, someone was there to help.
But I heard your voice. You brought me back.
You found your own way back. All you needed was a little help. A little hope.
What if this is close? What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? The sword will never be lost. What if this is the end? It's just a trick. It's just a poisonous test. You've been fooled before. You could be fooled again. You're being tested. You don't know. It's just their game for you. You never know which way it's going to go.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
broken. There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Senua? You want to see the mask sees?
No, she doesn't.
God. The mask is here to watch you fail again. Where are we?
What is this?
It's the same. It's another world. The bridge.
It's not broken.
It's fixed.
What?
The bridge is fixed.
Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Baldur. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Baldur dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Baldur's mother makes everything in the world, fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Dillion is in there.
Don't forget.
You can feel him.
You can feel his presence.
You need the runes to find Dillion.
You need Dillion.
He's waiting for you.
He always said
He's close.
He's close.
He loves you. Calling you. Dillion. Dillion, we're here.
Dillion.
We're nearly here. The gate is open. Go through the gate.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe.
Dillion.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through.
Before he disappears.
Dillion, don't lose him.
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
dark.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of color stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
And asks Baldur's mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Baldur's mother confesses. I thought it was too young. Oh dear. The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Baldur, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Baldur's mother confesses. I thought it was too young. Oh dear.
Cared in a way that nobody else did. He cared in a way that nobody else did.
Do you remember
remember meeting him beneath the tree.
Senua, you've got it.
Why isn't he here? You can't go up
You
there.
can't go up there.
Not in this world.
No, not in this world. You can't. Do you remember the way he looked? You're cursed. You are guilty. Was it worth it?
There he is.
Where are you taking us?
He's up there.
How do you get up there?
There's a way. There is a way up there. She can do it. You're nearly there. She can find us.
Your curse is played through.
Poor Dylan. He didn't know.
It was cold.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking pollen. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
Dillion doesn't know who killed him, but we do.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Baldur's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Baldur's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
Can you remember what love feels like? Look what the best you think was. She destroys the thing she loves.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
I have no time for this. Speed up.
These traps must have things. It's all part of their game.
They've set you trials to distract you.
They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you fall.
What if these trials mean nothing?
Laughing at you.
What if they take you closer to Dillian?
Dillian, and you're letting this get in the way.
What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle?
Everything gets broken in the end.
You've killed him with your love because he believed in you.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Baldur return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Baldur stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Baldur, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Baldur was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
He was the only one she could trust. Could she trust him?
Does it feel warm? Do you feel safe?
Dillian loves you. She should have listened to her.
Why didn't she listen to you?
She thought she could defy him.
Was it worth it?
You had that loved you.
You squashed it, strangled her, flattened it.
The curse cannot be undone.
Dillian saved her.
You owe your life to Dillian.
You owe everything to him.
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down, and turned these bonds to iron, and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face, so that its venom would drip onto him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of earthquakes. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, then so must we.
He saw that she was strong.
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work?
You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
Everywhere.
But what if they're not real?
What if they don't actually make sense?
If they're a trick?
The gods were lying.
If you think it makes sense, but really the gods are playing with you.
It makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't make sense in worlds.
The gods are linked, but it doesn't mean anything.
You can't read this language, you don't understand.
Sinbad was right.
You're wasting time.
You're cursed. You'll never succeed.
Slow,
Quicker. The way he stroked your hair. Do you remember the way you felt? He saved you. He saved you. That's you. You owe him his love. So strong.
What if they're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute? What do you think she's doing? You're special.
They mean nothing.
Waste of time.
Could all be a waste of her time.
The gods are just toying. What if the gods are laughing at them?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be this. Dillian!
There he is.
Dillian never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Sinbad. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, and to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Very careful.
You've come this far, don't let it slip away.
It's a narrow bridge. And there's a long way to fall.
It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to the... Just come to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I know.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
Killing you would be too easy.
They're taking your memories to torture you.
They're taking you from the inside.
You're disappearing one memory at a time. Every time you remember, it disappears.
They're going to take everything. They're going to take everything you have.
The memories of ghosts.
They belong to the gods.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. I saw once a plague strike northern lands of ice. It was so terrible that not the oldest man among us could remember the like. Hundreds died. The sickness took nearly every person younger than 40 and many older. And where dying mothers gave birth, the marks of the plague were on the babes as they came out of the womb.
Where are we? I don't like it. This place feels...
What is this place?
This place feels... It's...
Creepy.
creepy.
It feels wrong.
It feels strange. Where is it? Where are we?
Turn back.
This is wrong. This has to be wrong.
This place stinks.
It's disgusting.
There he is.
There he is.
The light.
Go towards it.
He's in the house.
Find him.
He's going in.
He's disappearing.
Follow him.
Don't let him disappear.
The air's gone.
Keep going.
How do you find it? It's just It's a test. Like the old warrior trials. Dillian will help me.
You can almost see.
The stench of rot. She can almost taste it. Do you smell it? No. Don't worry. Not everyone can. It was one spring day when she went to the river with Dillian and the others. But the water. She could taste the rot. But no one else could. She knew something was wrong. Something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like them.
Fix it.
You have to find him.
Quick, get to the house. Get to the house and finish this trial.
It doesn't finish until you get to the house.
Before he disappears, Senua.
You have to get in.
The Northmen speak of a death moon, a light shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls. I once saw the death moon appear at a farm, and first the shepherd died, then a guest died, and then the farmhands, and then the farmer and 6 of his men drowned at sea. But that is not the end of it, because the dead return to haunt the living. If you see the Death Moon, then beware, because there will be death in that house.
That's it.
You did it. She didn't.
It's not done yet. Just a small piece of the puzzle. You found a way.
To climb the tower.
The ladder.
Quick. What now?
You can see it. Aligned to the truth. The bridge.
She did it.
Did it? You fixed the bridge.
She fixed it.
You passed the trial, get to the house.
You succeeded.
Senua! Come to me! Where are you?
I'm here! I'm right here!
Are you in there?
Find him.
Come out if you
Have to
are.
find him.
The runes.
Focus.
The runes.
Focus the runes. Come on.
They are the key.
You can open the gate.
There was a Northman called Grettir. Big, red-haired, immensely strong. But he was afraid of the dark. It happened one night that an undead creature came to his house to drag him outside into darkness and kill him. He resisted with every ounce of his strength. He clung to the doorframe, but it gave way, and they spilled out of the house, and the monster fell back, and the moon shone down on its ghastly face. Grettir, terrified, cuts off its head, but is cursed forever. From that moment on, wherever he was, he would see those hideous eyes staring back at him. Sometimes we allow our own fear to haunt us to our grave.
What's that sound? Dillian! They're coming for me! Someone's calling you. Someone's calling you. Why are you? What's that voice? You can hear Dillian. It's Dillian. Go to him. Dillian? Go to him. He's trying to save you. There it is. It's close. It's close. Move away. Senua, move away. Don't let it see you.
It is.
Go towards it. Run.
Focus.
Run. Run now. It's not safe here. Run. Senua, you don't even have your sword. You came through the wrong door. Where's your sword? You want to defend yourself. What is that creature?
You can't defend yourself.
It's Dillian. Find the creature. It's Dillian. Where are we? What shall I do? You're dying. You're lost. You're dying. This is what death feels like.
The light. The room.
Go towards it.
Focus.
Focus. One has to find one more. One more. Find the other symbol. You're lost.
Let him look at you.
Where's Dillian?
Where is he?
You've got them. Where's the door? Find the gate. Get out. Run. 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 Let him look at you. Don't let it see you. It's coming. Move away. You're lost again.
Senua! Senua! What happened?
They're blaming me for the plague. They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
How would they know such a thing? Are they gods? None of us are. They're just people. Good people, but they're scared. They're afraid of what they can't see. Like children scared of the dark. They make up stories to fill the void. That doesn't make them true.
What if my father was right?
You have to step out of this darkness. Let them see who you really are, like I have. You're not a monster.
Without you, this darkness has made me a monster.
You've done it. You did it. The warrior trials. You need that sword. Go get the sword. You did it with the sword. You have to get the sword.
With glamour reforged, you will have Odin's blessing to walk, a goddess, into the halls of Helheim and challenge Hela as an equal.
So Dillion was helping me. And the sword will lead me to him. Like when we first met. Dillion gave her the strength to pass the warrior trials. And she saw a way out. To leave her past behind. And become a warrior in Dillion's clan.
The sword is tainted by the gods of darkness. Leave it.
No. He left it here. He wants me to take it.
You will pay a price for this.
But years later, with Zinbel's parting words still haunting her, the darkness came back with a vengeance. The plague. Dillion? Everyone suffered.
My father was not supposed to die like this.
Do you see it clearly now, Senua? The suffering you've caused.
This is your fault. You brought this plague to us! You have blood on your hands!
They're coming for you now.
They're coming.
They're coming to get you.
Hold your heavy strike. Hold it. Hold the heavy strike. Hold it. Hold your heavy strike. Unleash the sword. He's gone.
There's nowhere to run to.
In the sea of corpses, the corpse waved through itself over the ones I loved. The ship broke up under them, the ship that had sailed from a land of shining fields. Their memorial stone is sacred. Come not here in the sun. Come not with a sword. Come not crying over a naked corpse. Come not with disturbed mind.
Do you hear the suffering, Senua? Does your precious gift of sight let you see the souls that rot here in this sea of corpses? Do you feel the blood run cold on your skin? Do you hear their endless cries? Do you smell their putrid wounds? They were once brothers, sisters, and loved ones. And look at what you have done to them. All because you were a coward, because you ran from your curse instead of facing it. When you turned your back on your father, Zinbo, you turned your back on the gods, and let the darkness wreak havoc on your people. Why must they pay for your heresy? She calls for you, Senua. Go to her. Answer her pitiful call.
Darkness took
Mother! I need you! Elsie!
surrender to the darkness. Darkness is you're both dead. You both surrendered to the voices.
Your dear beloved was powerless against the darkness when it came for her. She too had a sight. She too doubted the gods and let the darkness infest her. But she didn't run. She escaped the only way she knew how. She gave her life to the gods. If only you had done the same, the world would have been spared this horror. It's not too late. She's calling for you. Why don't you join her? brethren will rot and let your blood seep into the seas and the rivers of hell. Isn't that what you deserve after all you've done? Give the darkness what it wants and let it swallow your soul and destroy all that you are. Why are you fighting for someone who is already dead? Just look around you. What hope is there for him, even if his soul could be rescued? Do you think he'll thank you for what you have done to him, to his friends, to his father?
Darkness has taken you. Galena and Senua. Galena and Senua.
You are lost. There's nothing you can do. You're dead. You're both dead. Mother and daughter dead in the sea of corpses. The voices took her, Milton. You too.
The voices have taken her. The voices. I can't fight it anymore. Not on my own. Where are you, Mother? I want to be with you.
That night, she gave up on her world to follow in the footsteps of her mother, to go to a place where the darkness couldn't reach her.
Senua. Look at me.
Do you hear them? They're calling for me.
We've lost so many. And I've lost my father. I can't lose you.
You said it. I have blood on my hands.
I didn't say that. You've done nothing wrong.
Symbol was right. Everyone will suffer.
Zimbel is a fake. He is a hateful, bitter liar. He's poison. And his words still haunt you. Who do you trust? Him? Or me? Do you still believe in me, Senua? In us? Come back to me. Please. Don't let this darkness come between us.
hardest battles are fought in the mind. He gave her the sword with which to fight in more ways than one. And she gave him her word, never to surrender. All she needed was a little help, a little hope. We're here to help you.
You need us.
So worried.
Silence is lonely.
We didn't know where you'd gone.
We're here to help you.
Worried. You can trust us.
Trust us.
Senua, it's us. We won't leave you.
Ellen,
Don't leave us. We're here.
there's a way in. Into the mountain.
Can you see it?
Shall we tell her where to go?
It's not far. Go on.
Look.
Up. Just up there.
Listen to us.
That's it.
Shall we
can do
tell
it.
her where to go?
Shall we?
Does she know which way to look? Does she know her way into the mountain? She's a good girl.
Oh, isn't she?
Look.
So clever.
Did you miss us?
Oh, she did. She did.
Are you glad we're back?
She's so glad we're back. Go
We
on.
know which way. There's a door.
You can do it.
You can see it.
Come on, Senua.
Go away. I'm not listening.
I will tell you of a great hero named Sigurd, son of Sigmund, no less. Born after his father's death, Sigurd is cared for by the dwarf Rain. But Rain does not love the boy. Instead, he plans to use him for his own ends. You see, Rain's father possessed a great treasure given to him by the gods. But Rain's brother, Fafnir, killed his father and took the gold all for himself. Fafnir hid the treasure out on a heath and could not leave it. And from the evil in his heart, he turned into a dark creature, a dragon.
But you can feel it.
It's watching you.
Can you feel it?
Something's behind the door.
What is it?
She can feel it.
No.
Don't open the door.
No, go in.
Turn back.
A great beast guards Helheim. Garm is its name, and it knows you are here, Senua. It can smell your stink. What are you afraid of, Senua? How will you save Dillion if you are too much of a coward to step into the shadows?
They can't stop me.
Then do it!